Hello. I have three books tonight, but I'm only going to tell you about two of them. So the first one is called Last Stop on Market Street. The second one is called Grumpy Monkey. Not the monkey that's behind me. He's not grumpy. And then I have a third book that's, it's a surprise. You're just going to have to wait to find out what it is. So let's read and get there. Ahem. Last Stop on Market Street. Words by Matt de la Peña and pictures by Christian Robinson. Have you ever ridden a bus before? This book is about riding a bus and all of the people that you see on the bus. We're in the city. There's the street, people walking their dogs. I think they're buying ice cream. CJ pushed through the church doors, skipped down the steps. The air smelled like freedom, but it also smelled like rain, which freckled CJ's shirt and dripped down his nose. He ducked under his Nana's umbrella, saying, "How come we gotta wait for the bus in all this wet?" "Trees get thirsty too," his Nana told him. "Don't you see that big one drinking through a straw?" CJ looked for a long time, but he never saw a straw. From the bus stop, he watched water pool on flower petals, watched rain patter against the windshield of a nearby car. His friend Colby climbed in, gave CJ a wave, and drove off with his dad. "Nana, how come we don't got a car?" "Boy, what do we need a car for? We got a bus that breathes fire and old Mr. Dennis who always has a trick for you." The bus creaked to a stop in front of them. It sighed and sagged, and the doors swung open. "They're on the number 5 bus." "What's that I see?" Mr. Dennis asked. He pulled a coin from behind CJ's ear, placed it in his palm. Nana laughed her deep laugh and pushed CJ along. They sat right up front. The man across the way was tuning a guitar. The old woman with curlers had butterflies in a jar. Nana gave everyone a great big smile and said, "Good afternoon." She made sure CJ did the same. The bus lurched forward and stopped. Lurched forward and stopped. Nana hummed as she knit. "How come we always got to go here after church?" CJ said. "Miguel and Colby never have to go nowhere." "I feel sorry for those boys," she told him. "They'll never get a chance to meet Bobo or the Sunglass Man. And I hear Trixie got herself a brand new hat." CJ stared out the window, feeling sorry for himself. He watched cars zip on by either side, watched a group of boys hop curbs on bikes. A man climbed aboard with a spotted dog. "Ruff!" CJ gave up his seat. "How come that man can't see?" "Boy, what do you know about seeing?" Nana told him. "Some people watch the world with their ears." "That's a fact. Their noses, too," the man said, sniffing at the air. "That's a mighty fine perfume you're wearing today, ma'am." Nana squeezed the man's hand and laughed her deep laugh. Two older boys got on next. CJ watched as they moved on by and stood in back. "Sure wish I had one of those," he said. Nana set down her knitting. "What for? You got the real living thing sitting across from you." See, they're listening to an iPod. They're listening to music. "Why don't you ask the nice man if he'll play a song?" CJ didn't have to. The guitar player was already plucking strings and began to sing. To feel the magic of music, the blind man whispered. I like to close my eyes. Nana closed hers too. So did CJ. And the spotted dog. Ruff! And in the darkness, the rhythm lifted CJ out of the bus, out of the busy city. He saw sunset colors swirling over crashing waves, saw a family of hawks slicing through the sky, saw the old woman's butterflies dancing free in the light of the moon. CJ's chest grew full, and he was lost in the sound, and the sound gave him the feeling of magic. The song ended, and CJ opened his eyes. Everyone on the bus clapped, even the boys in back. Nana glanced at the coin in CJ's palm. Remember how the bus driver gave him a coin that he pulled from behind his ear? CJ dropped it in the man's hat. Last stop on Market Street, Mr. Dennis called. CJ looked around as he stepped off the bus. Crumbling sidewalks and broken down doors, graffiti-tagged windows and boarded-up stores. He reached for his Nana's hand. How come it's always so dirty over here? She smiled and pointed to the sky. Sometimes when you're surrounded by dirt, CJ, you're a better witness for what's beautiful. CJ saw the perfect rainbow arcing over their soup kitchen. He wondered how his Nana always found beautiful wherever he never even thought to look. He looked all around them again, at the bus right in the corner out of sight, and the broken street lamps still lit up bright, and the stray cat shadows moving across the wall. When he spotted their familiar faces in the window, he said, I'm glad we came. He thought his Nana might laugh her deep laugh, but she didn't. She patted him on the head and told him, Me too, CJ. Now come on. See, they're helping at a soup kitchen. These are all people without homes, without places to live. And they're feeding them to make sure that they're healthy. The end. I love that book. Such a good book. Such happy people. Unlike this guy. This is Grumpy Monkey. Ooh, ooh, ah, ah, ah. Words by Susanne Lang and pictures by Max Lang. I see a banana and some kind of lizard. Why is there a banana in this picture, do you think? Grumpy Monkey. One wonderful day, Chimpanzee woke to discover that nothing was right. The sun was too bright, the sky was too blue, and the bananas were too sweet. Look at his grumpy face. Jim was confused. What's going on? Maybe you're grumpy, suggested Norman from next door. I'm not grumpy, Jim insisted. I don't know, he sure looks grumpy to me. On his walk, he met Marabou. Jim's grumpy, Norman told Marabou. Why are you grumpy, Jim? Asked Marabou. It's such a wonderful day. But look at how you're standing, Marabou said. It's true, said Norman. You're all hunched. So Jim loosened up. Then he ran into Lemur. Jim's grumpy, Norman told Lemur. Why are you grumpy, Jim? Asked Lemur. It's such a wonderful day. Grumpy me? I'm not grumpy, said Jim. Your eyebrows look grumpy, said Lemur. It's true, said Norman. They're all bunched up. So Jim raised his brow. Then he tripped over a snake. Oh no, said Norman. That's the last thing you need when you're feeling so grumpy. Grumpy? Me? I'm not grumpy, said Jim. Then why that frown? Said Snake.
I think it's because he tripped over you,
Norman whispered to Snake. So Jim put on a smile. Finally, Jim looked happy! But he didn't feel happy inside. Do you think he looks happy? I don't know, it looks kind of freaky to me. Everyone wanted Jim to enjoy this wonderful day. You should sing with us, said the birds. Jim didn't feel like singing. You should swing with us, said the monkeys. Jim didn't feel like swinging. You should roll with us, said the zebras. Jim did not feel like rolling. You should stroll with us, said the peacocks. Jim didn't feel like strolling.
You should lie in the grass. You should stomp your feet.
You should take a bath and make a splash.
You should hug someone.
You should laugh.
You should take a nap.
You should eat old meat or some honey. You should jump up and down. You should sit in the sun. You should dance. But Jim didn't feel like doing any of that. Why are you grumpy, Jim? Asked the others. It's such a wonderful day. I'm not grumpy, shouted Jim as he beat his chest. And he stormed off. Look how angry he looks. Jim felt sorry. A little sorry for shouting at everyone, but mostly sorry for himself. I guess I am grumpy, Jim sighed, and just as he was starting to feel really sad, he came upon Norman. Norman was slumped. His eyebrows were bunched up, and he was frowning. What's the matter? Are you grumpy? Asked Jim.
No, I danced with Porcupine, said Norman.
Look, Norman got quills in his butt from dancing with the porcupine. Are you okay? Asked Jim.
It hurts, but I'll probably feel better soon enough, said Norman. Are you still grumpy?
Yes, said Jim, but I'll probably feel better soon enough too. For now, I need to be grumpy.
It's a wonderful day to be grumpy, said Norman.
Jim agreed. And he already felt a little bit better. The end. Are you ready for your third book? It's a book you've heard before, because I like reading this one a lot. But this week, the book about a blue monster and a brick wall and a wood wall and tape. This book is 50 years old this week. 50 years old. I'm almost as old as this book. But one reason I like reading this book to you, not just because I love Grover and I love this book, but I was your age. I was a little boy when this book came out, and my mommy used to read it to me all the time. So I like reading it to you all the time. So happy birthday, the monster at the end of this book. So I wanted to read it again. Here we go. You know the title of this book. What's the title of this book? The Monster at the End of This Book, starring lovable, furry, old Grover.
Hello, everybody.
It's been a while since I've done Grover's voice. The Monster at the End of This Book. Words by John Stone. Pictures by Michael Smolin.
This is a very dull page. What is on the next page? What did that say? On the first page, what did that say? Did that say there will be a monster at the end of this book? It did? Oh, I am so scared of monsters. Shh. Listen, I have an idea. If you do not turn any pages, we will never get to the end of this book. And that is good because there is a monster at the end of this book. So please do not turn the page.
Should I turn the page?
You turn the page! Maybe you do not understand. You see, turning pages will bring us to the end of this book, and there is a monster at the end of this book. But this will stop you from turning pages. See, I am tying the pages together so that you cannot. You turned another page! You do not know what you are doing to me. Now stop turning pages. There! I, Grover, am nailing this page to the next one so that you will not be able to turn it, and we will not get any closer to the monster at the end of this book.
I'm going to turn it. It's a little harder.
Ugh. All right. Do you know that every time you turn another page, you not only get us closer to the monster at the end of this book, but you make a terrible mess.
Sorry, Grover.
This will stop you turning pages. A heavy, thick, solid, strong brick wall. I would just like to see you try to turn this page.
Riley's getting excited about this book. Can you hear her barking? Do you know that you are very strong?
The next page is the end of this book, and there is a monster at the end of this book. Oh, I am so scared. Please do not turn the page. Please. Well, look at that. This is the end of the book, and the only one here is me. I lovable furry old Grover am the monster at the end of this book, and you were so scared. I told you there was nothing to be afraid of. The end. Oh, I am so embarrassed.
And I love that book. This is probably my mostest favoritist book. But I'll wait a while to read it again. Are you ready to sing with me? Did I forget to do this last week? I think I did. Stick out your fist. Stick out your pointy finger and your pinky finger and your thummy finger. What does this mean? It means
I love you. Because I do love you.
Okay, here we go. You ready? I love you. Goodbye. I love you. Goodbye. I love you. I love you. I love you. Goodbye. Goodbye. See you next time.